A Lubbock organization is celebrating those in the community who have helped serve victims of crime in their time of need. The Crime Victim Coalition of West Texas hosted its annual awards ceremony tonight as National Crime Victims' Rights Week comes to a close. The coalition took the time to recognize those it says go above and beyond serving victims and to bring awareness to resources across the Hub City available for those victims. Christy Thompson, the president of the Crime Victim Coalition, says these are individuals and organizations that are often overlooked and rarely thanked.
The ones that are boots on the ground, they see some of the worst of the worst, and then also help during court and advocate for the victims to make sure they're getting the services that they need to be able to bounce back from the crime, whatever the crime was.
Tonight's recipients include the Lubbock County Criminal District Attorney's Office, multiple Lubbock County Sheriff's deputies, and DPS troopers. Lubbock Mayor Mark McBrayer and Lubbock County Commissioner for Precinct 1 Mike Dalby also spoke at the event.